I remember where we left off, so we're good. I remember where we left off. But what I was gonna say before I got cut off is everything does happen from you. It's been happening to you forever since you were a child, and it's led up to your adulthood because you've still yet to learn those lessons from yourself. It's all happening from you. The lack of acceptance from you accepting the fact that your life is the way it is because of you and no one else other than you is why that happens, is why you're still stuck in that energy. You have your life. You're not in a codependent life unless you're like in a relationship, and even then it shouldn't be like a full codependent life, you know what I mean? But everything that happens to you is a direct response to your own beliefs. So yes, someone else has control over your life because you believe that they do. You're allowing them to. It's this consciousness that people don't grasp yet of it is you. It always will be you, and there is nothing else other than you. If you have a problem in your life, it is because you are focusing on it. If you have someone attacking you in your life, it is because you are focusing on it. It's all because of you. And that's something that people can accept. And the reality, the truth of the reality is, and honest to God, this is the full extent. If you can't accept that it is you, then you will never have control over your life. That means all your manifestations will not be of yours. Anything that you praise and follow will have complete control over you because you will have been submitted to your own downfall. When you need exercise, you let the demon inside of you. It's your body. It's your vessel. It's you. If it's affecting you, it's because you're letting it. It's because it's you. No one else can do it. You know what I mean? It's you. At a subconscious level, it's you. It's because you believe it to be there. This is how you hear monks and stuff that are immune to pain because they've broke down their subconscious patterns so much that they see and they understand, oh, that reaction causes that reaction to happen on the flesh because my brain says so. If I can get my brain to say that I don't feel this whenever that happens, it won't happen because you won't experience it because your internal will not reflect that external. That's the truth. Anything that it's attached to you is because of you. Demons and exorcisms only need to occur because you continuously go back to that source that has that control, that has that power. It is all you, genuinely. And this is like, when I say this, and people don't understand when I say it, so they always think I'm being mean or ignoring or just narcissistic. No, I'm conscious. I'm aware of these things. I've studied these things. I've not only studied them by looking at and by reading and watching videos, but I've put it into practice in my own life. That's why I'm able to respond to people without feeling like I'm being aggressive or feeling like I'm in fighting or combating someone. I'm just giving what I know. And there's nothing wrong with that. But we've been taught and pushed down into a hardcore belief to where we think that thinking for our own and responding the way that we would want to respond and believing our beliefs and standing our own ground is mean and rude. And that's this whole thing. Like the energy of being nice. And I'm not 100% certain because I have to re-look it up, but I believe that the etymological, I can't say that word, the true meaning of nice is like stupid or slow. You might have to look up the etymology of that word, but I believe that that's what that is. And that's why it's not about being a nice person. It's about being just humble. It's about being you. It's being a good person. It's these words that we don't understand the real definition of, that we use to identify ourselves, that then allow all these attachments with that word to follow us. You know, it's a thing. Genuinely, you change the way you speak, your reality changes. You change the way that you internalize words. They no longer have that effect over you. It's all you. This is what they mean by you are a god. And the best way to confuse and to overthrow a god is to teach them everything wrong, to get them to think a different way than how they're supposed to be. A God doesn't need someone to tell them one way or another. They would just know. And this is like a whole thing, because then everyone starts feeling like, oh, I'm this because someone told me I'm this. Well, are you really that? Are you doing the actions of that label? That word has a spell, and that spell has energy attached to it. Are you matching that energy, or are you just trying to match that energy? These are the questions that we gotta start asking ourselves and other people. When we put people on pedestals, like by saying, oh, you're a savior, you're a healer, all these things, are they really healing? What are they doing that's showing the healing? What are they doing that's showing that they've been saving things? What's the energy? Because you can label anyone anything. You can label someone ugly, and then someone will say that they're not ugly, they're beautiful. So who is it? It's you. It is the beholder. It is the one. It is the God in you that is putting the judgment. That's why you don't judge. When you judge yourself. It shows you your judgment of your own character through someone else, because not everyone can look at themselves in the mirror and accept that that's them. They have to see it from an external point of view to get the full spectrum of, oh, this is how I am. Oh, this is how it is. That's the reality of it. That's why it's made this way. That's why we have other people around. That's why it's not literally just you and you not seeing anything else. Because you need to experience that sight, that reverberation of your energy towards people. And you know what energy you're putting out. So if you're putting out love and you're receiving agitation back, your love is agitating them, because they can't handle what you have, because they are not yet at the vibration that you're at. They're the lesser version of you. It's not a comparison to say that you're greater, but lesser in the form of smaller. They are less. They do not have as much as you. They don't have as much wisdom, self-control, self-respect, whatever it is. They lack that, so they are lesser in that degree. These are things that we need to do, is detaching ourselves from the vibration of certain words. That's why I can use the word ignorant so well, because I know when I say ignorant, I just mean uneducated, because that's what it is. People take ignorance as arrogance. Those are two different words. What people say now is arrogance, they don't even care. They're like, oh, who cares? You're arrogant. They use arrogant as the word ignorant, and then ignorant as the word arrogant. You got shit mixed up because you don't know the actual definition, not even the definition, but the true meaning of the word. The definitions is what got people fucked up. This is what I here to teach you. This is how you free yourself. Because when you realize that these words are what have power over you and not the flesh, it's the spirit that you speak that has the power and control over you, then everything starts being easier. Then you start realizing, oh, it is me, because I'm identifying with words and definitions which are made by man, because a man will define you by his judgment. But it's that you're identifying with, not your truth, but with the judgment. You're identifying with the reverberation, which is something coming back from you. You're not going to hear your same voice. Your voice will get further and quieter and deeper whenever you get a reverberation, like go into a cave and scream echo, you'll hear it. The voice changes in timbre as it goes further and further away. It gets further and further, more diluted, more I guess blurred, I could say, the further it gets. When you hear it, it's not you, it's the reverberation of you. It sounds different, it's off, it's a different version. That's the same thing with people. They're going to experience it in a lesser version and or a greater version than you are at this moment, because you are in the middle of the two sides. And when you have to make a decision, when you're faced with an idea, that's when you sway. When you're faced with the idea that this word you don't like that word. Do you not like the word because of the way you define it? Then change the way you define the word. Why do you still stick with these vibrations of not liking something? And it's not to say that you're doing anything wrong, and I'm not saying that you need to switch your life up immediately. I'm just here to bring up points and tips and awareness to why things are affecting you in a certain way, to why you're not receiving what you actually want to receive, why things are so heavy on you when you know they shouldn't be. And it's because you expect them to be subconsciously, and you have to rewire subconscious. You have to really do the shadow work, because the subconscious is the shadow. It's everything. The subconscious will dictate everything. If you can get your subconscious to detach from what it's been taught and to attach itself to the reality of it, the reality of everything is love. And I experience love on a spectrum. And sometimes I don't like love. Sometimes love is overwhelming. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the truth. Sometimes love can be so overwhelming that it makes you uncomfortable because it's new. And that's okay. The uncomfortability helps you grow. But that growth is scary because that uncomfortability is related to fear or stress or paranoia or anxiety, etc., etc. Because it's what you define it as, so you would understand it. You know what I mean? And when you detach from how you identify with it and understand what it truly is, it no longer has that effect over you. This is how you can get rid of spell work and shit. You expect this spell work to work because they're doing it so much. Subconsciously, you believe that that's how magic works. You can break so many shits in reality with this. And people don't realize this, or they don't want to, because it's like, oh, it's not gonna work, because you believe that. So keep believing that and watch what happens to your reality. That's why my reality is different. People might be doing things, but it doesn't matter what they're doing because I'm in control of my life. I don't want that stuff, so I don't even have to verbally return it to Cinder. It just returns to Cinder on its own. It's at this point to where I'm so embodied with who I am, so close and so authentic with who I am, that if anyone comes towards me, it's an immediate mirror. It's an immediate, I understand. It's an immediate, I get that. I don't have to sit and ponder on things. I'm consciously aware of who that reflection is. I'm consciously aware of how I'm being projected out into the world. And that's what giving you the real shit. I'm telling you how to save your life. I'm telling you how to save the world right now. Dead ass. They don't want me fucking talking about this shit. I gotta come inside because the internet don't work. I gotta come inside because my phone overheat. I almost tripped and killed myself when I came inside. They don't want me telling you this because I'm gonna fucking free you all. We inside now. We inside. We gotta come back inside the box. It's cool. But I'm telling you all right the fuck now. This is the shit that they don't want you to know. This is the shit they try to keep under wraps. This is stuff that the top 33 fucking degree Masons know this shit. And they scared of little old me because I'm over here exposing they shit. Like, let's get real with it. This is how you free yourself. They know that the subconscious mind ran. That fucking MK Ultra, that's a subconscious mind control. Subliminal messages, we understand that those things exist, but we don't actualize that happens everywhere. That's not just with advertisements, that's with hearing people talk negatively. It doesn't even matter. They don't even have to touch anything. It's man versus man in this world. It's a dog eat dog world. That's what they want you to believe. So when you're in that reality, you end up meeting people who are also on a lower vibration that try to drag you back down, crabs in a barrel. Once you take control over your life, once you see how subconsciously everything is created from the internal viewpoints, how you have been raised, and you don't raise kids, you raise cattle. First of all, let me say that. So whenever you say, oh, I'm gonna raise my child, no, you better don't. You better love that child. Don't you dare fucking raise that child. You love that child. You teach that child life lessons that it fucking needs. Don't, oh, you gotta go over here. This is the grass that you eat. That's school, and if you don't go to school, you'll fail. Don't teach them that shit. That doesn't even matter. How many of y'all went to college, got a degree, still can't get a fucking job in what you got? Dead ass. It's all in front of you. Like, that's not even like a new thing. That's like everyone knows that. But instead of just knowing, start putting action to things. Knowing is one part of the equation. You need to put action. You need to put the energy into it. And it's tough because it takes literally tearing down who you believe who you are, because most of what you believe who you are lies and projections and opinions of others to make you feel a certain way, to keep you from focusing on what really matters, which is you. You don't have enough time for yourself because of all these external things. That's how they want it to be. They want you to focus on the external that you're afraid to focus on the internal. They want you to be afraid of, like, oh, you have to live in a motel or in a car just to focus on yourself and to get your life together. Do that. Who gives a fuck? You're getting your life together. No one said it was gonna be easy. No one said that you were gonna get your life together in a 12-foot castle And whoever told you that, why'd you have such, like, it's good to believe shit like that, of course. But the law of detachment, you can't stay attached to that, because when you have that expectation and it's not met immediately, it deteriorates you. It puts you back down at the, oh, I can't manifest. Oh, I can't do what I want. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. Because that's what they want. They know that it takes time and forever, not really forever, because we have an eternity here, but it takes a while to learn these lessons, to hear these things, to really not even just hear and listen to them, but to be comfortable with it, because it's the truth. And it it's hard to talk about, even for me, because when I even speak about it, it's such a controversial thing for some reason, but it's what everyone wants. So we have to give it the right way. We have to keep it true. We have to keep it the real way. And it's, I don't know, man. It's like, when you work on yourself, when you're doing this shadow work, the main, and I'll tell you this because not a lot of people tell you this, but the main gold, the main treasure point that you will find when you do shadow work is that you've actually created your entire life from childhood. That's the greatest thing that I've learned from my shadow work, is because I didn't have faith in myself. I didn't believe that I could manifest, but how the fuck did I make it to where I am now if I didn't manifest something? We're talking about people who haven't had family or friends or anyone around them for years, right? Not even just me, but everyone. Like, take it as a personal thing as well. How the fuck did you make it from there to here with no one's help? Other than like, oh, well, someone random came in. How the fuck did they come in? You manifested them. They wouldn't have been near you if they didn't match your vibration. They couldn't match your frequency if they weren't supposed to be there. Yes, it's all played out. It's all written out in your destiny, but it's up to you to match that vibration of your destiny. It's up to you to believe again that you have a destiny. It's up to you to know again who you are and why you came here and why you even chose to be here. And the fact that how you created everything to be here. Everything that you've ever wanted is here because you've created it, because you've consciously made it. And then when you consciously make it, it becomes on the reality. That's the law of nature. When man demands, nature will supply. That is the masculine and the feminine nature of life. It is the truest, purest form of the truth that anyone can get to. It can get, I mean, it could get purer than that, but like that would just be from experiencing. That would be not, tarnishing it with words, because words, again, define how something's supposed to be rather than just having the feeling. So the experience would be the most pure, but you know what I mean. This is literally how I think. I don't even like, it's not even like a self-conscious thing. This is how I think. I no longer accept that that's me being self-conscious. That's me understanding and almost outsmarting myself. You know what I mean? I have to sit back and go, I'm not wrong, but I also understand, like, it's the occultist, it's the mysticism inside of me. It's the mystic that wants to be like, oh, you're saying this wrong, but the only reason you're saying it wrong is because you know that there's a better way of saying it. It's funny. That's life. That's the projection. You're always going to be fighting yourself because you know you can do better, but it's okay because you're doing better, because you're stopping that feeling that keeps you in a low vibration. You're pushing past it and realizing, no, I'm just really helping myself out because I know what I really want to say, but I have to say it in a different way. And that goes for anyone. That goes for, like, when I always say this because I love to always use me as an example, always, because it's my goal to be transparent. It's my goal to be authentic, because why do I hide anything in a world where everyone is so closed cornered and scared? Why can't we just be open? Why can't we have a few souls here who are open and fully transparent? I would love to be one of those souls, because it shows that there is trust. It shows that there's more than one side. It brings that awareness. It brings that energy to it. And the more energy that is put into love and less of fears, the more that it becomes balanced. And that's what we're doing now. That's why so many people are like going self-love. I mean, we have all these strikes going on. We have all these things going on. People are resting. Nature's resetting. All these things are going on. And it's not to bombard you. It's just how the matrix is run. And you get used to it after a while. And you start seeing and you catch on to the patterns and you catch on to the, oh dang, so this is, there's already things happening on the news, so that means something's gonna happen here. Like you catch on to what happens. You catch on to like the operations that they go through, like putting a bunch of like negativity on the on like news feeds and stuff, and like all you can see are like weird random videos, or like trying to distract you from focusing on yourself, or talking about prices up and down, and all these things that constantly happen day to day. It's so important to just focus on the self and really get to the literally exactly, it doesn't even matter, like everyone already knows about that. There are so many like people already talking about that situation. It doesn't need like any other energy. It's like it people love to beat the dead horse basically, and I like beating the dead horse too, but I don't like beating dead horses. But when it comes to love, when it comes to self-evaluation, when it comes to betterment of the self, I will beat that dead horse till the sun rises, because that's what's important to me. That's what I want to spread. That's what I want to bring attention to. So of course I'm gonna be sitting here hammering the same horse forever, and it's not even for bad, but it's for growth in myself, betterment for my speech, betterment for my connections, betterment for my knowledge, for my wisdom, for my connection to the divine. It's just how it is. And it's connecting with the divine. That involves being true to yourself. That involves loving yourself. That involves knowing who you are, because you're not just this flesh. You're not just this one soul. You're an agglomeration of souls. You're an agglomeration of your ancestors, of the gods and goddesses that you call to the ancestors, to spirits, to anything. You're an agglomeration of all those souls into one. Genuinely, it is not just you. It is so much more, and we forget that because we're so focused on ourselves. We're so focused on what we need to do to the external to fix it, when really if we just fix our internal, the external, as you would know, like as you would see, isn't even wrong. The external is okay. It's the internal is causing the external to look different, but it's not. It stays the same. It's your perspective that changes. It's literally your reality that changes. And this is how you do it. Like it doesn't have any sort of like magic potion, or like, I don't know, like outlandish belief, whatever you want to identify with outlandish belief. I'm saying that very like loosely here. Um, but it all has to do with what you're doing. What are you doing? What are you thinking internally that you're able to project externally? That's why people talk about journaling all the time, because it rewires your subconscious. You get to see how your subconscious is running, and you go, okay, I don't like some of these things. Why don't I like them? What causes the energy? How can I transmute this? Because when you don't like something, you don't want to get rid of it. You want to transmute it. Because if you get rid of it, it's going to come back. It's going to come back in a different form. You need to transmute it so that when that energy comes back again, it's no longer how it used to be. It has that love. It has that acceptance. It comes in, it says what it needs to do, and leaves. It's like opening the door for a neighbor that's trying to borrow a stick of butter. It just needs just give them the butter and leave. Like, you don't have to sit there and talk to them. You don't have to like the neighbor. If they just got to borrow something, let them borrow and like whatever. And, like, leave. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to control you. It's there to show you. It's there to make you aware. That pausing moment, it's a reflection. It goes, oh shit, let me think for a minute. Why is all this happening? Why do I feel like this? Why is this making me upset? Or is this just new energy? Is this energy used? Am I using the energy that I'm getting correctly? It's like all these questions. We don't ask ourselves these things because we're so used to accepting what we get. And a lot of the time what we get is negativity. So we're used to everyone giving that, and we're used to accepting that solely. But we have to understand that it's not that you're accepting it, it's that you're validating that it is this thing. You don't have to validate it. And to validate something is to give it is to make it a law, is to make it a way. When something is valid, it is a law. It is correct. It cannot be changed. I mean, you can unvalidate things as well, but when it's valid, that's what it's going to be. So if 1 + 1 is 2, and that's what you want your validity to be, then sure. But my 1 + 1 is 3, because man and woman make a child, and that child is a family, and a family is a 3. You know, even if it is with 2, there is never 2, because there's always 3. There's me, you, and the connection between us, the spirit between us. The only way we can communicate is with spirit, the spirit of consciousness, the spirit of awareness, the spirit of breath. It's there. Spirit's always there. It's the hidden element. It's not God. It's always 3. It's never 2. And this is the thing. We're not able to see it, so we don't believe it's there. So it's like, well, that don't make sense, but it's because you're not seeing it. You're not acknowledging it. You're not giving it the attention that it's trying to show you. And these things, it's not commonly taught, and it's hard to think this way at first because you're not around people who have this type of consciousness, that have this type of thinking pattern, that have this like awareness. So it becomes like a self-reflectant. It becomes, oh shit, if I talk to someone about this, they're gonna judge me, and then I don't want to be judged. So how do I not be judged? Well, I just won't do it. I'll just remove it completely. No, you transmute it. I don't want to be judged, so I'm not going to be judged. I don't want to be judged, so I'm not gonna let them judge me because they're judging themselves, and I'm gonna see it as that because what they see in me is something that they see, not what I see, and that's how it is. And you have to understand that. You have to understand that. And it is really, there's a battle between you and you. Because no matter, I'm going to say this because it's true for a while. No matter how good you get at transmuting that energy, it will always be present because it's still part of you. You know what I mean? But it's not going to have an effect. It's going to be around you. And this is when you get to teach yourself how to help yourself, not duality, spectrum. Duality is a 3D based construct saying things are one way or another. Duality is not mixed in. It is literally two opposites that have been put together and they're not getting along. They're being pushed into a circle. They're not mixing that well. They're chasing each other. They're chasing that bit of them that's inside of it. They can't reach it though. They don't know how to. It's a spectrum. And the spectrum, is a variety. It's a whole thing. It's the entirety. It's not just the two sides. It's the full spectrum. It's the full picture. When you see duality, there's only those two colors. There's way more colors than those two in the grand scheme of things, If you go further enough in the darkness, you will see the full rainbow, the full spectrum of light. And white is just fractured wholeness. That's what duality is teaching you, is that your fractured wholeness is residing in the darkness. And the only way to see that darkness is to be fractured within the light. And you have to be aware of that. But this is this internal battle. That's why it's 3 circles. That's why it's encapsulated. If it wasn't that way, it would be 2 parallel lines going straight up. It's a circle. It's life. It's the chase. It's the action. It's the energy moving. That's trapped, and you can untrap that energy, and you can allow it to be what it is and allow it to flow out. Being in the flow of life isn't running around in a circle. Being in a flow of life is allowing it to see where it takes you. It's understanding that once you're in the dark, that's where you live. You cannot live in the light. The light is comfortable. The light is comfortability, and though you need it, it's not where you'll live. You'll always live in the dark. You'll always live in confusion, not knowing what the next step is, because you are the light. You are what's able to see. You create from the dark. You create from the imagination, from the dark. Even when you're a child, you experience this. When you're in your bedroom at nighttime and you're like, oh, all these imaginary creatures are running everywhere. That's you creating. That's you expressing your emotions. That's you expressing your subconscious and making it the reality. And the subconscious holds so much truth, like things of why you're afraid of things, the truth of why you're like, why you believe in certain things, the truth of why you project what you project, whether that be positive or negative or however you want to look at it. It's how you wish to exist. And these are the things that we are becoming more aware of, that we're becoming more advanced to. And people don't want it to come out because it's like they want to keep everyone separate. They really do. Because if they keep you separate from yourself, then like your plan falls apart. You have to reincarnate because you don't fill out your purpose. You're not living in your full spectrum, your full light, and what you truly want to do. And don't let reincarnation scare you. Reincarnation is a second chance at life. Always. It's always a second chance. It's never a third chance or a fourth or a fifth. It's always a second. Because you don't remember the past. You only feel the past. The only memory of the past are the cycles that you break in the next. and you don't remember what you even did in the past to have those cycles, unless you do past life regression work and really dig into that. But typically day-to-day people don't know that. They don't understand that the trials that they go through is because their past self, but they don't as well understand that they are more powerful in this life, in the second life, than they were. And so they're able to overcome those challenges, so they're easier to swim through. That's why people have deja vu. Deja vu is the golden nugget. It's the timeline shift. It's, hey, you had a life at one point where this was a turning point where things did not go as well. You made it past that point. You hit a checkpoint. You got a gold star. Next lesson, let's go. That's what it's teaching. It's teaching you how to be authentic, how not to give up, how strong you are, how much love you have for yourself. You have so much love for yourself that you gave yourself amnesia to forget the pains of your past and to teach you lessons and to help you grow for the future. You love yourself so much that you continuously do this nonstop, day-to-day, consciously, subconsciously, internally, spiritually. You do this for love, for the love of yourself, and for the love of your mirrored peers, for the other souls that are around you. It is only love. I really I'm huge on this. And I will only say the things that I say off of full proof. I only know these things because of my own experiences. Like, God forbid someone has to go through death 3 times to know this stuff, but someone did, and I guess was the one to want to go through it. And instead of, allowing that to sour me, it just why am I alive? That was my first question when I survived death, is why am I still here? If I was supposed to be gone, why am I here still? Why did I get brought back? There's something more. What have I not done? It's the soul that chooses. It's not a conscious remembering, it's the soul. The soul is yearning for something, wanting more, knowing that there's something else. That's why you feel this urge to keep pushing, is because you're just not seeing it yet. You're not seeing the love yet. You're not seeing what the soul is giving you yet. It's there. It's all inside of you, and that's all I really want people to grasp. And I understand that it's not everyone's going to grasp it, but for the ones that do, it's to allow it to become your natural state. That's why I say it so much. Repetition's key. You have to keep repeating it. I do this manually for myself all day, and it's to help others do this, even if they don't do it every day, even if it's hard for them to, or even if they do it for a while and give up or whatever. It's to help. It's to show you that you are the key. And yeah, talking to yourself, you always have to ask yourself. Talk to yourself all the time. You know the answers. You know that the only reason why you're here is because there's something that you've yet to experience. There's something more to it. There's something within you that wants to show you something beautiful that it's already seen and planned out. It's all there for you. It's written out on a beautiful script for you, written in gold and silver, waiting for you to pick which scripts and which lines you're going to read from. You need to do these things. And it's not to say that you need to do them as in you're going to be punished if you don't. When I say you need to do something, I say it from this place of the soul. I'm not saying it from a place of consciousness. I'm saying it from a place of the soul. I'm saying it as a place of self-love. You need to do this to further self-love, to experience more self-love. But you don't have to. It's not required. It's your life. You do what you wish. But I'm just talking about the way that I feel talked about it, And that's the detachment with words that we get into. I no longer hold the word need as a word that means immediately, or if it has to be, you know what I mean? Those words, these phrases that we use that have a lot of power to them, don't really have that. You have to do it. What do you mean I have to? Is it because I told myself I have to, or is it because I feel like I have to? You know what I mean? And you break that down with yourself. It's not even saying anything's good or bad. It's all about you. How do you see life? Really, what's going on with how you perceive? How do you want to perceive life? And that's how you find out what you're supposed to do. Well, how am I supposed to be perceiving life? What can I do to better my life? Well, what do you want to see better in life? Do you want to see more finance? Finance has a lot to do with worth and currency. So what are you not currently doing for yourself? What are you not allowing to flow through you to receive? What are you not seeing yourself value? Why are you seeing yourself in a less then? Exactly. No, seriously, Stephanie. We would think that self-love would be taught at a young age because we understand that children can't survive without love. But we are raised to believe that materialism is love, which it is, but it is not the only form of love because materialism is a condition that can have love. It's not taught unconditionally. It's taught conditionally. It's taught if you do good, I'll love you, or if you do this, I'll love you, or if you buy me this, I'll love you. It's built off of that, which is conditional, which isn't wrong because some people need conditional love, but it is unconditional because love is unconditional, but with free will you can define anything as you want. And that's the beauty of it, is you get to define everything. You get to choose what you don't get to define as well. You get to choose what things bother you and what things don't bother you, but we're not taught these things. We're told that this is this and this is that. But why? Because you said that? And because you said that, because someone told you and someone told them, and then someone told them, and then someone told them, and no one along that path like got an inkling of to think like maybe I shouldn't do this, or maybe I don't agree with this, or even if they didn't agree with it, they didn't think to just be themselves, or to just not do that. You know what I mean? Like this like thinking for yourself is so powerful, but so many people see it as ego. And let me break this down for you, because this is another thing. This is one thing that people will do, and I'm gonna say people, and I mean people by like draconians and stuff. Y'all know the entities, the spirits. What they do is they get you to look at people who are living the life that you wish to live, and that judgment of, oh, they're living that life bad, or they're not doing the right things, and I now dislike what my dream is. They do that to keep you away from it. The reason you don't like all these rich people is because these rich people are entities, are fucking extraterrestrial families that have ran this shit for so long that they know what to do. They make you hate money by seeing how they use money, when you know that you'd use it differently. But then you remove yourself from that vibration of feeling like you deserve that stuff because you don't want to be seen in that light, because since you see them in that light and your reflection is showing that same thing of other people treating them that way, you then think that these people are evil. You then think that rich people are egotistical and snobby and snooty, and you think that people that know things are just arrogant and mean and trying to put you down, when in actuality you've just identified yourself with people who are like that. That projection of yourself where you feel that way about people is being externalized to show you, is that really how you want to feel about living the dream life? You know what I mean? It's really that way. Like, you don't hate. Are we good? They don't want. Oh, y'all think I'm over here joking? No, but I got people watching me because I got some. I know this shit like the back of my hand is the script. I'm just playing dumb for a minute. The divine has some shit going on, but they get you to do that so you lack mentality, because you feel like you would be better helping people with the lack that you have, because you're seeing people with abundance not helping people. You're seeing, oh, they have all these things, they're not helping other people. But what you're not realizing is a lot of these people who have money, a lot of these new come rich people who are businessmen and women who have built their shit up from the ground up, but you're not realizing is that they're spending that money on themselves because they love themselves enough. They've worked so fucking hard on what they did that they're giving themselves that love, that they're giving themselves that energy back that they've been cultivating. What you're seeing is self-love, and what they've done is they've turned self-love into some sort of demon to make you fear that this self-love is going to make other people see you in a negative light. But the only reason they see you in a negative light is because of jealousy, of envy, because they lack what the others have. That's the separation. That's the split. You want to make money fast? Stop identifying shit as bad. Stop identifying having, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what you would do with that finance. So why do you feel unworthy to have it? Why do you feel unworthy to support people in that way? It's these things that we have to break down and realize. This is the matrix, is how it's ran. it's true. It's awful though, because people are beat down and buried and hiding because of these things. They're unable to live the dreams because they're not pushed. They're not put, and it's awful because the way the Matrix is ran is it's pushed on stress. The stress is either going to make you or break you, and a lot of people are broke by the stress. They can't get back up after, or if they get back up, they fall again. They get back up and they fall again. And it's time to break that cycle. It's time to realize that it's the Matrix. It's not you. You're not like the rest of these people that are selling their souls and mindlessly doing shit with whatever they're doing. You're going to do what you desire to do with everything that you get. You know your goals. You know your aspirations. You know your character. So fuck what they think when you start leveling up. Level up anyway. Level up double when they start complaining. Show them that those complaints that they throw is only going to power you up. Because at some point in their matrix, which you're giving them what they want, which is to be stuck in that matrix, you're giving them that stress to either make them or break them. It's going to make them realize, why the fuck am I even so worried about them? I'm going to do my own shit, or it's going to break them. Sadly, that's how the matrix is ran. And unfortunately, we have to love ourselves enough at a point to allow that to go through. But it's about giving the hand out. You give the hand. And if the hand is not received, it is not received. Never stay closed. It is scary to open back up. It really is. But you have to trust everyone, because not everyone is the same person from your past. You open your hand. You be nice. You just be courteous. You be generous. You give them just unconditional love. And if they decide to do some weird shit with it, then you know to back away and call your energy back, and to call it all back to you and to keep it to yourself. That's these lessons. This is how you grow trust with yourself again, because this isn't a lack of trust in others. It's a lack of trust in the ability to manifest what you actually want. It's the trust of trusting the divine, that the divine's always going to bring nothing but love to you. It's the trust that you have to build with your subconscious to not even believe, but to know that everything is going to be okay. That the more that you do, the more love that you pour out, the more love you will get back in. That is the law of the universe. Studying the universal laws will really help you with this, because it shows you that these man-made laws are all based off of fear and like dictation. And if you don't do this, then this is what's going to happen. When in reality, it's all chaotic. There's no order of operation in reality. I mean, the only order of operation that happens is internal to external, but that doesn't mean that you're going to receive all those negative bad thoughts first and then all the good thoughts after. You're going to receive a mix of both. They're going to come through at different times. It's rough though. And this is why I love like talking so much about this, because it needs to be talked about. It needs to be learned, because we're not taught these things. We're never taught them, and it's for a fucking reason. And then you have people that do know these things, and they do teach them. And it's one of those things where, you might not understand how they say it. It needs to be said in different vibrations, with different words, with different understandings, with different physical appearances, because the Matrix knows, as well, as much as we focus on the physical, that as much as that can be a thing to tear us down, that can be something to build us back up as well. That's the spectrum. That's the bipolar reality we live at, with the ups and downs. It's not to say that the physical matters. A lot of people at the start of their journey will use a physical relation to identify themselves with what they want. A lot of people don't like, I don't watch people if they don't have their camera on. Well, that's a materialistic thing, because it's a physical thing. It's a thing on the 3D. It's with matter. You care about the matter. You care about what's solid. And some people need that. And it slowly becomes where it becomes obvious to you, where you realize that everyone's saying around the same thing, but it's different vibrations, it's different attachments, it's different spirits. Where does your soul want you to go? Not where your eyes want you to go. Your eyes will always deceive you, but your soul will always show you where you need to go. it's so important to realize these things, and it's not to say that it's good or bad. That's the thing we have to get rid of, is identifying things with good and bad, just seeing it as it is. I now understand why I see it this way. I think that that's a beautiful thing that I'm able to see it this way, but I wish to see it a different way. Instead of saying it's wrong and shaming it, say, hey, why don't we look at it this way for a minute? I enjoy your company of your viewpoint, and I understand what you wish to show me, but what is over here? What is on the other side that I can look at? And doing this, no matter what you're doing, will help you regain this internal balance. It will show you it will show you so much of who you are, your actual character. If not showing you if you're a positive or negative person, if you put on a scale, but where it's going to show you how you really feel about things, and understanding that that's okay. You're down here to experience. And who said that every experience is supposed to be lovely and blissful? It's given to you out of love, but sometimes that love is harsh love. Sometimes that love is tough love. And you have to be shown the hand, the hard way, for that love to to be seen, to build that trust again. But it's oh my god, I love talking about shit like this so much. But it's so important, so important. It's not even like me saying it's important. Like, everyone understands how important this is on a level, because your subconscious is so important, and it's been ruled by so many other hands. It's been dirtied by people. And you just have to take that power back and to realize that it's you. That what do you want? How do you want to feel? And then when you want to feel that way, ask yourself and be transparent with yourself. Why why can't I feel this way? I can't feel this way because maybe I'm holding on to a grudge. Maybe it's a belief I have. It's something to do with you holding on to something, though. Because you wouldn't have a belief if you weren't continuously telling yourself that thing. A belief is just a thought that you tell yourself over and over again. You can break a belief. The only thing you can't break is the truth. The truth is what causes that feeling, but a belief can also cause the feeling. Is it? But you have. Oh my god! I'm gonna break this down so much, y'all. I'm gonna like. I love this shit because it needs. It really needs to come out. But it's all about understanding, like, is it repetition that's causing it, and where is that repetition coming from? Is that repetition coming from the past, or is the repetition coming from the present moment that you're in? Are you seeing the past as a learning point and then moving forward, or are you using the past as like a guiding method? It's because you can't use the path as a guiding method. You can use it as, I mean, you can, but it's dependent on who you are, truly. I can't use the past as a guiding method. I use the past as lessons, because the past shows me how I act in those vibrations, where I act in those frequencies, how I used to react, and how I act now. It shows me the growth. I use it in that way. You know, everything on earth is a tool. Everything mentally, emotionally, spiritually, verbally, physically, it's all a tool. It's about learning how to use these tools, because we're not given instructions for these tools. We're given the main tools, and then we're given like other shit. Like, we're given a hammer, but we're also given a rock. And it's like you can use both of them the same way. You can use a rock to nail a nail in the same way with a hammer, but one way is gonna be easier. One way is gonna be the quicker way. One way is gonna be the one that has less malfunctions, because you hit that rock with the nail so many times, the rock breaks. Then you got to go take that one of those smaller rocks and do it with that instead of just using the hammer. You know what I mean? It's this understanding. It's this deeper consciousness, deeper awareness. And I'm really glad that I'm able to talk about this stuff in a way that people grasp it, because this shit's deep. This shit's a lot is really, really deep. This is stuff that people don't think about. And if they do think about it, it's either because they know about this, or it's a subconscious process that they haven't actualized yet. So I'm glad I'm able to like speak about these things in this way, because this is this new earth vibration. And it's difficult to move through because it's new. Um, Let me answer that for real quick, Annie. I don't know. Because I'm trying to find a way to say this in the best way for where you're at right now. Because I don't want to just say something that I would normally say. I want to make sure that this is like going to actually help. You know what I mean? Because I'm also, well, I don't identify with being disabled, but I have epidemic seizures, which restrict me from driving safely. I'll leave it like that. So I understand the, and I understand as well and overstand completely the fact of a physical restriction or mental restriction, even an emotional restriction, keeping you from moving forward the way that you're wanting to. But again, it does go down to the subconscious, but it's more of, are you allowing that disability to add extra energy onto others' actions? Then that's why it feels so heavy? Or is it the acclimation of just both those things at once? Which one of those things is it easier for you to handle first? If it's people trying to tear you down to build you up, understand that you don't need an external person to tear yourself down. You yourself will tear yourself down 10 times worse than someone else could ever do. All they can do is, like, add an extra hand in. So when you're dealing with these things, when you feel like you're being broke down, look at the areas where you feel like you're being broke down. Doesn't matter if it's spiritual, physical, emotional, mental, look at it as it is. Be honest. Even if you have to say this area fucking sucks, like, be transparent. Because a lot of that pressure is just emotions that you're holding in, feelings that you're not expressing. You don't even have to express it towards anyone. That's why in so many religious scripts they say, if you have a problem, pray. Like, if you have a problem, talk to God. If you have a problem, talk to your ancestors. That's why we say these things. Say it out loud. Transmute that energy from internal to external in the form of self-love by giving yourself the love and the care to express yourself. Even if it's about, like, and yeah, it's like you just have to, like, continue to express yourself. And I'm gonna say this, and it might not make sense. It might make sense for you. I'm gonna say it though, because it's a very important seed that needs to be planted. A main reason for why a lot of people end up losing a lot of things that they love, you know what I mean? A lot of reasons for why people lose kids, or like pets, or houses, or things that they love a lot. It's because your soul knows that you're pouring so much love into that you're not taking care of yourself, and this is where that tough love energy has to come in from yourself, from the divine. It's where you have to be stripped of everything in order to show yourself all the things that you are giving more attention to. And it's not to say that anything's good or bad, but it's to get you to really be in touch with yourself again, and to see where your stress is, and to see that you just were carrying so much. And it's not the fact that you're weak, it's not the fact that you can't, it's the fact that you're unable to fully do it at this time. You're carrying way more than you can at this time, but you know that you're able to because you have that much love. But what is first needing to be expressed is that love towards yourself. You need to build yourself up with that love first, so that you can start gradually accepting things back in. It comes to that point, but this is the point where you're able to build up. We call this the Phoenix Awakening, where you get this new power, where you realize that you have become free from things that you feel obligated to. Your time is more freed, and even though the memories may cause that lack, that pain, you know what I mean? Whenever that happens, you need to internalize it, and see that it's you need to give yourself more love. The reality will become more pushy towards you in a way, to show you that you need to hermit, that you need to go within, that you need to like become isolated. And it's not because you're doing anything bad, but it's because the reality around you is getting more control over you than you are internally comfortable with. You know what I mean? And always, like, always express yourself. Always, like, genuinely cry. Allow yourself to. We're taught that crying is like a form of weakness, but it's a form of transmutation. Allow yourself to fully express, like, cry, scream. Like, that's why people, like, when you go to therapy, when I went to therapy, I used to have anger issues. They told me to, like, punch my pillow if I ever got mad. And I used to do that, right? And people might look at you as weird or whatever, but that's might have to be what you have to do to release it. There's no judgment. We all have to learn in different ways. We all have different ways of expressing things. And what we need to learn is how to express ourselves in a way that's not that doesn't hurt anyone else, that doesn't project our pain onto anyone else. You know what I mean? But take this time where things are going against you to show you who you are and who you want to be. It's to show you that the people around you, that the places, that the energy around you just isn't for you. And you don't even want to raise anything up with that energy because you know that it'd be extra work on you. Allow yourself to be fully transparent at this time. That's the best advice I can really give you. Because I've never lost a child, but I've lost both my parents. So I understand the energy of losing, right? I understand that, but I don't understand it in the form of a child. So I try to help the best way I can with this, you know? So allow yourself to just fully be transparent. You are here for a reason. You're in this chat. You're not the only one who's had children took away from them, whether that be from CPS or, you know, the ladder of them moving on to the next life to reincarnate. We all have experienced these things on different levels with different things. So allow yourself to just make yourself home here, genuinely, because this is the healing journey. It's not about keeping people in or out. This is a full armed, open, welcomed in. This is how we're here to help. Despite if I speak on things that are on a higher level or not, you know, those are just seed planters for seeds being planted. We're here to help and we're here to love and grow and evolve. And that's what we're doing. There's no fear of spreading negativity here. Don't let that fear be a thing here. We don't fuck with fear over here, all right? That energy of fear that you feel is just you being excited to express yourself. That feeling of acceptance is what we're here to spread. And that's what I hope to spread. And I know sometimes it might not feel that way because of the things I talk about, but again, it's just about planting seeds. I'm on multiple missions here, you know? I'm doing all I can. So allow yourself to just to be fluid. Make friends here. We have a Google. I haven't talked about it a lot that much recently, but like if you like, I have a Google chat group that you can email me about that we added into, and we just talk there. It's just a really good energy place. You know, that's a good place to be. It's genuinely like we're here to to get rehab. Yeah, these are just like, it's, I mean, I completely understand like that. That's a direct mirror of my childhood right there with me and my sister, so I completely get that. But you are on the right path. Don't allow the external to tear you down. Allow yourself to know that you're on the right path because you're being shown these people's true colors. You're being shown that you're not valued there. And it's not because you're not valuable. It's because they can't see what you hold. The beauty is the eye and the beholder. And sometimes they're blind as bats, you know? Some people just can't see love. Some people just can't see truth. Some people just can't see, period. They're blind to themselves. So let their true or express. Allow yourself to express that grief, that pain of, it sucks that I have to let you go because I loved you and I had you on a pedestal in my life, but now I have to take you down because you yourself have proven that you aren't worthy. Allow them to show them who they are to you, and then all you do in return is show them the energy that they gave you. They are giving you disrespect, so you have to give them the equation and leave. Don't be mean to them, but just leave them with their own energy. If they wish to be mean and snooty and ratty towards you, let them. If they choose to say, oh, I wish you were never born, then allow them to experience living their life, not by taking your life. God, no, don't do that. Literally just remove yourself from them. Get away. Stop communicating with them. Don't give them your life, your energy, your attention. Cut it. Show them what their life would be like without that. Let them suffer their own words and their own consequences. You make a wish, so it be granted. That's how I live. If someone tells me, oh, I don't like you anymore, bye. You don't have to ever see me again. And then all you're going to be stuck with is that's your last interaction with me. Your last interaction was a negative side effect on your half. That's why I always tell people to do these things, because you let them stay in that energy. You let them allow themselves to sulk in it, because that's what they want you to do. And you're not their voodoo doll, you know what I mean? You're not their little thing that they just get to project shit onto, you know? They got to deal with it. That's them, not you. You're freeing yourself. Exactly. See, those people, don't even let them near your energy. When you express these things, and as well as even that, do you believe these things about yourself as well? This is a thing that you should, not that you have to do immediately, but at some point you will be doing, hopefully, is seeing if you truly relate with what they say with you. And if you do, don't let that like hurt you. Well, don't let it tear you down, but see why. See why does it make you feel that way? Why do I agree with these things? Like you have to question yourself, because you know that you aren't these things deep down. You know that you don't deserve these things. So why are you agreeing with it in some form or fashion, whether it's known yet or not? You know what I mean? But these are the steps to freeing yourself that no one again really teaches you. And with therapy, and it's weird with therapy, because what they'll do is they'll tell you these things, but they won't tell you the details behind. You know, they'll tell you, oh, it's all you, it's in your head, you need to do this, you do that, but they won't explain why. They won't explain to you that that's not because that's you. It's because it's things that it's your environment. And they might say, oh, it's your environment. Like, how do you change your environment? You have to change your perspective. And they don't give you solid advice usually. Well, I've gone to therapy for years. I haven't really got much solid advice other than like punching the pillow as a child. Most of it was me really having to dig down and look deeper. You know what I mean? But these are things that we work through internally. These are things that we help each other with, that we love, that we need to bring attention to, because this is how we unite. Understanding that we all go through issues, we all have pains, no matter how much. It's like, because here's the thing, it doesn't matter how much money you have, you're always going to lose your parents, you know? It doesn't matter how many fucking houses you have, you're probably going to have a deceased animal, like a pet, you know? You're going to have some sort of loss. Everyone experiences it. It's life, and people grow sour with it, because when they lose, people on the external act in that weird way, you know what I mean? But it it's about really just breaking these chains off of yourself, because I don't know, it's just so important. I'm just I don't know. I could talk about this shit all day long, because it needs to be talked about. It needs to be brought to awareness, especially in this time of healing, because, well, it's a time of healing, and the subconscious is where a lot of things that need to be healed will pop up. So it's just how time is going. As as time goes on through these next few months, we are going to get a lot more sensitive. And that's just for everyone. Everyone, like, it's just going to happen. You're going to get softer. It's like it is what's going to happen. There is detoxings that happen. There's so much um just so much emotional detox that's happening. And thank you all. And like again, like this is why I love this like community that we have. Like, cause I'm just glad that people can actually come in, like and really get help, like this, and have people jump in and share their experiences. This is what's really needed, and I'm glad. And I know this isn't the only community that does it, but it brings so much joy to experience it, and to have you all be so open and loving towards each other like this, because this is soul tribe. This is our soul tribe. This is like who we are. This is our family up in the souls. This is like in the ethers. We all signed this contract to be here and to grow and to learn. So I'm glad that our souls are remembering these contracts and are bringing it to the physical by doing this. So, thank you all genuinely. Like because I try to help as much as I can, and I love seeing you all do the same and allow yourself to really just like pat yourself on the back, and even you, Anne, like really pat yourself and feel proud that you expressed yourself, because it's tough to, you know what I mean? So really, like you all are just like, I love it so much. Like thank you all, because it's what's needed. It needs this acceptance, this understanding, and we share so many laughs and stuff together. It's just beautiful. So thank you, because it wouldn't this energy wouldn't be here without you all as well. You all need to understand that too. So thank you genuinely for being here, for it adding to really allowing this to grow in the energetic way, not even on the physical. Who gives a fuck? We're talking solely energetic, like the love. So thank you all genuinely. And yeah, fentanyl is scary. I was on fentanyl when I was 15 because of my seizures. My doctors put me on fent for some fucking reason. And then they put me on heroin for my seizures. Didn't make sense. I stopped taking medicine after that. I was done with the doctors, but after they did that, because that was dog shit. But we like this. We literally we all have this relation here. Like this is it's beautiful. So I'm glad. And you're an angel too. We're all angels. That's why we're here. You know? We're fallen angels. We lost the grace. We lost who we were. We lost our full connection to source. So we fell. We had a fall. The reason we had a fall is to see where we were. And now that we know where we are, we're able to get our wings back and fly back up. You know what I mean? I'm glad I was able to. Genuinely, that's my job. That's my mission, is just to touch the heart. If I can open up your heart space, if I can open your soul, if I can make you just see who you truly are, because I see who you are, I've done my job. And that's all I care about, because nothing else matters to me. I've been someone that has had zero support my whole life. I do music, I do DJing, I do this. No local support. I've been my sole supporter for so long, and can just allow people who are open to this mindset, see who they are, who are open to really seeing the true power that they have without, and sticking to it. That's what I wanted to do, because that's what I've always done. It's so much more. It really is so much more than that. It really is. It's something that words can't describe. It's a literal awakening. You like it's a rebirth. It's a death and rebirth. It's an instant death and rebirth energy that I'm glad I'm able to give. I mean, again, like this, our knowledge yet? Are we our knowledge yet? Are we okay? Can we come back? Are we good? I'm gonna talk about it. I'm testing it. Hold on. So what I'm going to talk about is a surprise. I don't know. Yeah. Yes, that's all I can say, because they don't want me talking about it. You see what they do to me? they this scared of a 24-year-old. Oops, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm just here speaking truth, man. I got the shits. But yeah. Don't worry. We'll talk about more soon. I guess I'll have to stick to doing videos for a while. or something. I don't know. We'll figure this stuff out, you know? But again, like, and even this then, like getting blocked by my message, I laugh at this shit. It's funny. It's transmuting the energy. It's so funny. But I I'm just glad that we're able to grow. I know we got a whole ass gen between us, man. Like it's crazy, man. Like I'm a baby. I've always been a baby. I've been the youngest everywhere. I was like the youngest. Well, no, I wasn't. I'll take that back. I was the third youngest in my high school graduating class, and that was the weirdest thing. But like, I've always been a little baby. I've always been a little baby boy. And that's been fun for me because that's like it's given me a lot of strength to be like, you know what, just because of my age doesn't mean I'm not smart, doesn't mean I don't know things. And it's also shown me a lot like that age isn't about wisdom, it's all about experience, and it really boils down to that, you know what I mean? And thank you for subscribing. You don't have to, you're perfectly fine to do whatever you want, but I appreciate it and thank you. And you can like, I have like shit ton of videos. I got tarot readings, and listen, like, this is why I love about this channel. That's why I'm not deleting any of my videos or anything ever, because they're timeless. You know, people need all sorts of help. So of course I'm gonna leave those karmic readings for tarot up because some people need them. You know, why would I restrict my help that I've already put out? Why would I take that back? It's out there. Some people need it. And then they can grow with this channel as it grows there. They can see the evolution with the channel, and that helps people grow too. It's just life. I want my channel to be as animated and as honest, transparent as possible. That's why I got awful videos of me like doing, like saying crazy shit, and then I got me doing this up here. It's the evolution. It's to show you humility. The test of humility is one of the hardest ones to pass because people will look at you and point so much shit out, but point out everything that I've done in the past and look at me now. Damn, compare me. I dare you. You won't find any. You'll find nothing but improvements. I'm telling you. And if you find a like, please tell me because I'll look at it. Not that I'm self-conscious of it, but you know, just for entertainment purposes. You know, it's the growth. It's to show you that it's possible for anyone. And that's what I want. I mean, shit. What's better than words? The actions speak louder than words. Like let's get real with it. That's why I do what I do. That's why I speak so bold. That's why I speak so confidently. And like this is how it is. Like that's why I do, because I like look, I've experienced it, and you can. And the ones that's been with me since day one. Are we back? Okay, I think we're back. I don't want no one to grow, bro. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna end it here because we're having issues. We're having so many issues. So I guess we'll end here. I'll try and get a at some point talking about this stuff, being here. Thank you all for being open, for being lovely, and you know, welcome and to the stuff. Thank you all so much. It is 222. Damn, that's crazy. But yeah, I didn't realize that. But this is the message. This is what we wanted to talk about. I love you all so much. Please take care. If you're needing or any of the services that I offer, everything's in the description. Y'all know the drills. But thank you all so much for the likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, whether they are energetic or financial. I appreciate them 10 times fully and wholly. I love you all so much. To the moon and back, tenfold and forever, and I will see you later.